Hey guys, Mr. Voiles here with a tutorial for you today on Canva. So for you guys who missed the past couple of days, weren't able to come into class, this tutorial is for you, or also if you're just wanting to brush up on what we learned today and get a second look at it. So we're just going to jump right in, but first I would advise you just go and look at our Echo page. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. But you just can click right here where it says Canva poster design, and that will give you all of the requirements and the instructions for your poster. So if you remember, we are making posters about copyright for our copyright project. And so what we can do is you can go ahead and just right click and click on Open Canva, or you can just Google search canva.com. And I'm going to go ahead and expand my screen here so we can see a little better. Now here's the trick, is you want to be logged into your NewTek Odessa Gmail, okay? You want to be logged into that first. When you get to the home page of Canva, you want to make sure you're not clicked on login, but sign up. So click on sign up first, okay? And as long as you're logged into your NTO Gmail, you should be able to click on this button right here that says sign up with Google. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to allow me to pick my NewTek Odessa Gmail account, and it's going to sign me up on there. Now you might see a couple of screens that try to get you started on a project right away, and that's fine. You might even see another screen that asks you like what your job is. You can just click student, and then you can click any of these. It doesn't really matter. We can click poster or presentation or something, and it might take you through that. So what we want you to do is just try to get out of all that and go back to the home page. Okay, so if it's your first time signing up on Canva, you might have to go through some of those steps at the beginning, but we want to get back to this home page right here. Okay, so when you're on the home page, where I want you to start is you want to hover over templates, and we're going to start with a template, okay? And we're looking for a poster template. So we've got website, presentation, and here's poster. Okay, so we're going to click on poster templates, and check this out, guys. So Canva gives us a lot of different templates to choose from, a lot of beautiful designs in here, and any of these will work. Okay, a lot of awesome designs to choose from. So just pick one that you think you like, and you might be thinking, okay, but Mr. V, some of these designs don't have anything to do with graphic design or copyright or anything like that, and that's totally cool. Because that's the beauty of a template. So a template is something that you can change. You can make changes to. So say for instance, let's say for instance I click on this one right here. You see this is a poster about, I guess, going to the gym, and you see there's some photography in here of people working out and lifting weights, and it says the Elite Gym. And so what we want to do is basically we can choose any of these, and we can actually change the photography. We can change what the words say, okay, and we can make it our own. So it doesn't matter which one you want to go with. Just pick one that you like, and you can get started from there. All right, so just as an example, I'm going to click on this one that says volley team tryouts. So this is like a volleyball poster, and I'm going to click on use this template. So that's going to take me to the designer page. And once I'm on the designer page, you can see I have this side menu, and it gives me a lot of different options. It gives me templates again, so I could actually change the template back to something else from here, but I'm just going to keep it on that one that I chose to begin with. You can see here you have uploads. This will allow you to upload images from your computer if you want to do that. Here we have photos. And these are just basically stock photos that Canva gives us for free. And they actually have some really good photos. So if I wanted to, I could actually search for copyright. And you can see I've actually already been searching that. And look, it gives us all of these cool pictures and photography on copyright. So you're more than welcome to use photos in your poster design. That's completely up to you. This template didn't give me any photography, so I think I'm just going to kind of leave it the way it was. Next, we have elements, and you can see here it just gives us like clip art and different graphical elements that we can use. We have text. We will be using text, and lots of cool different text styles on there. And then there's this other button that's called styles. And styles is pretty cool. You can take a look around on there as well. But basically, what it does is if you click a style, it will change the font and the color. And check that out. It's pretty cool. So I like some of those are better than others. But I think I want to just go ahead and stick with what I had to begin with. If you do something and you want to undo what you did, you can come up to this little arrow and just click undo. The keyboard shortcut for undo is also Command Z. So you can just type in Command Z on your keyboard and that will undo whatever you did. Okay, so you can see here to begin with, I've got this template, this volleyball poster, and I want to make some changes. And the main three that you're probably going to be using are photos, elements, and text. So let's kind of make some changes here. So you can see whenever I hover over some of the things on the poster, you'll see these blue borders that kind of pop up around everything. That's telling me that I'm looking at an element, and elements can be resized and changed and moved around. So you see here when I click on this volleyball element, it gives me this border and it gives me these like dots on the corners. That is telling me that I can actually resize, I can move them around, and I can even click this swirly button right here to rotate the element. So that's pretty cool, right? Now, I'm not making a poster about volleyball. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to right click on that element and just click delete. And you can see here it actually gives you keyboard shortcuts for all of those things. So Command C will copy, Command V to paste, and then the delete key on your keyboard to trash can. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm actually just going to do the delete key and just start deleting all of these volleyballs because I don't need them. Now you're going to see here my poster is going to start to look kind of empty and sad, but that's okay because we're going to fix that here in just a second. Now the same thing will work for text. I can click on text and you'll see that bounding box just appear around it, and that means I can move stuff around, I can rotate it, resize it, and do whatever I want. But I'm just going to undo that, and I want to take it back to the way it was because all I really want to do is change this from volley team tryouts to copyright. So to edit the text, you're actually going to click twice. So click first. The first time will give you the box, and then the second time will allow you to click over the text and edit the text. So I'm going to just type in here copyright. And you can see my text didn't actually fit inside of the box. So what I can do is take these little side handles and just expand the box. And a lot of designers, they'll do stuff like this. And that's kind of the trendy right now thing to do, is to break up your words into like sections. But I think I'm just going to go a little more traditional and keep everything horizontal. And you can see when I'm moving around elements, you see these like pink boxes and lines that pop up. Those are your guides, and your guides are there to help you keep everything centered and flush and looking nice and clean. So I think I'm going to bring this box in just a little bit, and I don't need this information down here, so I'm just going to delete that. I do like these little blue bars, these divider bars, so I think I'm going to just move them around. This thing right here, I want it to say, we'll make it say, how about what is ... What is copyright? Okay, so that's a little small to me. I'm going to highlight the text, and up here is where you can change your font, your size, and your color. I do actually like this dark blue color, so I'm going to leave it like that, but I do want to change the size. Right now we're sitting at 39, and so how about we bring that up to about 64, and that looks a little bit better in my opinion. So we're going to move the title up to the front, and that looks pretty good so far. So looking pretty good. I think I do want to change this font. So right now default is Norwester. We're going to click that down arrow, and I want to go with something that's still pretty bold, but something that looks kind of fun. So this Galligan font looks pretty good, and you can see there it doesn't fit in the box again, so I'm just going to expand my box a little bit. And actually we might have to shrink that font down. So let's go to, it's on 176. Let's see, maybe 144. That looks pretty good right there. Awesome. Alrighty, guys. So, and then I can actually still resize it and then center it again. So I'm liking the way that that looks. And so now what I need, and I think I'm actually going to copy this divider bar. I like that divider bar. So Command C to copy, Command V to paste. Whoops. Sometimes it's easy to grab the wrong thing, and you just you got to be patient. All right, so I like the way that looks. What is copyright? So now I'm going to explain what copyright is. So we know we have to have our definition, and it doesn't have to be really long, but it does need to be just a short definition for your poster. Okay, so if I click on text, you'll see here that it gives me some different text styles, and some of these are actually really cool. And to be honest, a lot of these would work great for your title. But what I'm looking for is just something that is easily readable and legible when it's small. So this one looks pretty good right here. And so I'm just going to click that and use that one. You can see this is a quote from Charles Schulz. If you didn't know, he's the guy that invented the Peanuts cartoons, and he would draw all of the cartoons of like Snoopy and Charlie Brown, and so yeah, he is like one of my favorites. But I don't need this quote part at the bottom, so I'm just going to delete that, and that just leaves me with the text. It says, "All you need is love, but a little chocolate now and then doesn't hurt." So what I'm going to do now is highlight the text, backspace that out, and I'm going to just write my my definition. So I'm going to put copyright is the law. Let's see. Oops. I misspelled infringement. It is the right to publish and display original works. I misspelled original too. Or original. I forgot my I there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to move this down to the center. Okay, and it's a little too small still. So from 44, I think I want to bring that up to about 60, something like that, 64. That looks pretty good. Maybe 56. Okay, perfect. So I do want to stretch this out a little bit to use up some of that space. And that looks pretty good right there, I think. A little more balanced and natural. Okay, so far I'm looking pretty good. I've got my title, I've got my definition, but my poster still looks kind of empty. So guys, this is the fun part. This is where you kind of get to go and design for yourself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the elements, and I'm going to just search for some stuff that would be copyrighted. So let's say, for instance, maybe like books. Books would be copyrighted. And I like those. Those look pretty cool. I'm going to shrink that down and just kind of put it off to the side because I like the way that looks. Books. What else? Maybe music. Music is copyrighted. And I like those. Let me see. These headphones are pretty cool. And I'm going to shrink that down. Just push it to the side for now. How about art? Art is copyright protected. And let's see, or what if we type in painting? Sometimes you have to search different keywords and see what you come up with. That's a pretty cool one right there. I like this painting of this mountain, kind of an illustration of a painting. And what else? Maybe film. Film is, I like to make a lot of typos, don't I? Film, if I could type. So film is copyright protected. And I like this film reel. That's actually pretty cool. Or this one with the clapper. I like that one. And this just comes with design experience, guys. But what I'm going to do is probably pick one of these and make that my primary element. And then all the rest will be secondary, which means they'll be a little bit smaller. So here's the cool part, guys, is now what I can do is I can right-click on my element. and I can click copy or Command C and then paste. And what that's going to do, I'm going to say allow, it's going to just paste all of these elements. So I'm going to paste, 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 and I'm just going to move these around the work area here, my composition, and yeah, just make them look kind of different. And I'm just going to size them different. I can rotate them and just kind of have them floating in and around this area. And I think that's going to look pretty cool. So see, you can get the idea now that this is just taking shape, and you're just having fun with it. You're just trying out different things, seeing what looks good, and you can see I'm kind of choosing the way that I decide these elements are kind of rotated towards, just for balance. Okay, I'm going to move this one out of the way so I can see all my other stuff here. We'll bring those out, and just kind of have fun with it, guys. Have fun with it. And just experiment. And I'm going to make this one a little bigger, and that looks pretty good. And this one can kind of be poking in from the side. I'm going to take my film reel, and I'm going to hit Command C and then Command V to paste. And these can be a little bit smaller probably. And I'm going to have maybe one coming in right here. Maybe we can kind of rotate that. Maybe we'll have some coming in on the side. Something like that. Maybe this one can be really big, and this one can be really small. So just change the size, play around, and we'll make this kind of balance with the smaller ones. Awesome. And we'll take our headphones. The headphones look pretty cool, and I'll move my books over here as well. That looks pretty cool like that. Maybe kind of poking out right there. This one can kind of move down. And we'll Command C and then paste, and we'll just paste our books coming in and around different areas. Maybe some books right here, and we might have to shrink that a little bit so that everything fits. Or yeah, how about that? Maybe some books coming in right there. And you can see, you're just playing around with it, trying to make everything fit together and look nice. And if stuff is touching, I'm not too freaked out about that. Sometimes stuff gets pretty close, and that's not a really big problem. And then we've got our headphones here. I'm going to rotate these a little bit so that it can be seen. And those might be a little bit of a smaller element. And then I'm going to hit Command C and then paste. And so those will be coming in and around the area as well. And maybe some up on the top. And we'll kind of rotate those. And let's see, maybe one more over here. How does that work? Perfect. That looks pretty good to me so far. So guys, check this out. This is really starting to take shape. So now I know what you're thinking. Mr. V, this is kind of messy looking. You've got stuff overlapping your words, and it just doesn't look completely perfect. I'm glad you asked, because basically what I can do now is show you something really important. And so if you right click on an element, you'll see you can actually send back, you can send backward, you can bring forward, or bring to front. And basically send backward and bring to front, what those will do is they will bring your element all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. And you got to think of all of this like like they're stacked. Everything is stacked on top of each other in different layers. And this is going to help get you ready to think about how to use Photoshop as well, because Photoshop uses layers. So you want to kind of get used to that way of thinking. So what we can do, and then also I forgot to mention, send backward and bring forward does the exact same thing. It just does it one layer at a time. So what I can do for most of these is just send to back. And I'm going to send to back on all of these. And just hide them behind the white border that I have here in the middle. And that's going to make everything look way better. So you can see here, some of these things are just going to be kind of poking from the background. And that's okay, because it still gets seen. And you know what? I kind of like the way this one looks, kind of overlapping the white. I think I'm going to leave it that way. And this one looks pretty good like this, I think. And everything I think is looking pretty good. So check it out, guys. I went from just a volleyball poster and changed it and made it completely for, you know, my own purpose for my own poster. Okay, and that is exactly what I want you guys to do. So as long as you have all three things, you need your background with art, you need to have your title, and then your definition. As long as you have those things, I promise you, you're going to make a great looking poster, and it's going to make a great grade. Okay, guys? So real quick, I do want to show you a couple more things. I think I want to change this background color, so I'm just going to click anywhere where it's yellow, and then right here on my color palette, I'm going to just look at some of the different colors. Ooh, that's pretty nice. And let's try some of these different colors. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Which looks best to you? Maybe like, ooh, lime green. That looks pretty cool. I think I'm going to leave it like that. And you can also click on new color, and you can just experiment with all of your own custom colors. You can try some really desaturated colors. And actually, you know what? I think I like it the way it looks right there. That's pretty cool. Maybe that minty blue greenish color. And I think that looks pretty nice. One other thing I want to do is come over here to my elements, and I want to spruce up my title. So I'm going to just type paint, and we're going to look for like a paint stroke element that we can put behind here, and maybe something that will tie in some of these secondary colors. This one is pretty cool right here, and we'll size that down and maybe just kind of put it behind our title. You can see here our paint is in between the what is layer and the copyright layer. So what I'm going to do is right click, and I'm just going to click send backward. I don't want to send it to the back, because if I send it to the back, it's going to be underneath this white thing. So I'm just going to click send backward until I see it go behind. There it is right there. And then maybe we can size that up just a little bit. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong. There we are, and we'll just center it, and voila, we have a nice poster design for our project next week. Now, here's the thing, is if you want to download this, you can go ahead and do that, and you can do that by clicking on this down arrow. And I haven't taught you guys a whole lot about file types. But what you can do is just click this drop down arrow. You probably don't want to turn in a PDF, because sometimes PDFs are hard to manipulate and view, and you kind of, you know, sometimes you have to use like different programs just to open up a PDF. So what you want to do is just click on JPEG. JPEG is the type of file that you find pretty much everywhere on like Google. So if you ever download a picture from Google, chances are you're downloading a JPEG. So a JPEG is just basically like your basic kind of file for like pictures and photography. So we're going to click JPEG, and then we're just going to click download. Now right here, it's given me this pay and download, and I guess that's because my my trial has ended. And so, or it could just because actually my trial hasn't ended. I think it's because I used this design. So it's telling me it wants me to pay for this design, this little element that I used. And so sometimes that will happen if you use an element that's watermarked, and I guess I just didn't see that it was watermarked. And so you can either change that out for another element if you want to download it for free. But if you really like the elements that you chose, then you can always just take a screenshot, okay? And you can send it to me that way. And so, but if you want to change that, it should allow you to just download it straight to your computer. And when you click download, it's going to download straight to your downloads folder, and it should be found in your folder ready to be uploaded. But whether you download it as a JPEG or just take a screenshot, it doesn't matter to me. Guys, all I want to see is your design. So to screenshot, you'll just hit Command Shift 4 and hold down. You'll see your mouse turn into like a little target, and then you can basically just select over the design, and we'll just take a screenshot. Okay, and this is fair use, because this is for school purposes. But if you were going to download this to use this, then because we're using this watermarked element, we would want to pay for that so that we'd be able to download it. Okay, guys? So that's basically it. But as long as you're not using anything that's watermarked inside of here, then you should be able to just download this for free. Alrighty, guys, that's basically about it. Remember, you have until Wednesday. And if you have any questions, just email me, and feel free to also pop in. Even if it's an asynchronous day, you can pop into my class to watch me teach this again. Alrighty, guys, until next time, God bless.